If you're facing performance issues, then one of the areas that might be contributing to it is if you've got foliage in there with moving leaves and they're being rendered all the way 2 miles down the road, then it's something that you can use to get back some FPS. And the way we find out if it's a problem to start with is by typing in GPU here, stat GPU in the console, and this list gives me from top to bottom the things that are worse at the top, shadow depth, etc. But what I'm focusing on here is render velocities. So it's quite near the bottom, almost off the bottom. So it's not a real problem in this scene, but if yours was near the top, this is what I'll be looking at. Now, to see what is actually using this vertex animation effect, another name for world position offset, WPO, and yeah, let's talk about synonyms. Render velocities is what it's referring to. So if I turn on evaluate WPO, everything that's green does have this vertex animation, the moving leaves on it, and it goes all the way down the road, and we don't need that. So if it's a real problem, this is the way that you pull back that distance and set that distance. Now, it is a common setting on even static meshes. So if I go down here and say I want to put in this tree over here, bump, go down to that. Let's go back in here so I can see that tree. So I've just placed a single tree here, and on the static mesh component underneath rendering, and I go down to the world position offset disabled distance. That is the key setting you're looking for, and 0 currently means that you never disable it. So here is a place to, so it's related to the actual asset, right? And it's on the component of that asset. So you're not going to see it if you're up here. You've got to go down to here. And it's in a slightly different place if you've placed this with foliage. But I'm just going to, and I'll show you that in a second. But if I put on WPO so I can see when this is disabled, right now it's green, so it's on. It's never off. It's not good. It's green, but it's not good. So I'll put on 50 meters, and when I move back further than 50 meters, it's going to go red, which is turned off. It's turned off that moving leaf. So now it's not costing that stuff. And this matters if you do it on such a thing as this vast amount of trees which you may have placed with a tool like the foliage. And if I go out here for a second and just go into the foliage tool and place one with a single bump bump, and now I go back into selection mode and select what I've just placed, I can see that it's this instanced foliage actor inside the details of that. Once I've selected that as a mesh component, so it's different to a static mesh component, it's a foliage instance static mesh component, they're all components and they all share this setting down in rendering advanced. So that's got 1000 on it. So again, I'll turn this on so I can see what distance it's working at. 1000 centimeters, 10 meters, right? So beyond 10 meters, it turns it off. Now let me do it for the other type of method by which this particular scene has been made. So if I go and select this one, this group here, I'll do that so you can see, I've got all those selected into the distance, right? They're contained within inside this sub-level here, so I can double click to go in there. But what I'm actually going to do is Control E, which opens and goes inside that level instance actor that goes inside here. So now that I'm in here, now I can select it and see that there's a hierarchical, which is a different type of component, and there's different ways to make this stuff. That's for a different video. But I select that particular component, and you might have several of them in here. I'll see into the distance how far it is. Now I want to pull that back to like 100 meters. Ta-da! So now when I go down here, this row of trees only renders in front of me that far in front. So that's going to get me some performance back. So that's how you solve the problem of render velocities in this list here as a problem. And that's what it is. It's your vertex animation, which is set through the materials, and you alter the distance on every instance because it's based on the mesh. I hope that's helpful, and give us a like and subscribe, and check out some of my other videos, and let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Cheers.